is for 11D, solving rational equations part 2. So it's going to be similar stuff that we've been just working on. Remember those, some extraneous solutions that we can come up. This type of thing, we're just going to not even worry about the word problems. So just move right off of it. Finding cross products, we'll talk about that a little bit. And okay, so I have two fractions equal to each other. Agree? So I'm just going to cross multiply. Make sure you put these in parentheses and cross multiply. So you get 2x minus 1 equals 1 times x squared minus x. Distribute over the parentheses. Oops, that should have been just an x. Sorry. And then let me make it equal to 0. So x squared, and then subtract 2x, so I get minus 3x plus 2. And so this is going to factor to x minus 2, x minus 1, and set those both equal to 0. Do either of those answers, when plugged back in, give me a denominator equal to 0? Yes, this one does right here. So that's an extraneous solution, so it's not. So our only answer here is 2. Okay, again, we have two fractions equal to each other. Make sure you put these in parentheses, cross multiply. So you get 2x and x minus 4 equals x squared and 4 minus x. Distribute over your parentheses, so I get 2x squared minus 8x. And distribute this over your parentheses, so I'm going to get 4x squared minus x to the third. Let's move everything over, so it's going to be equal to 0. So I have negative, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move the left side over, and that way we don't have to deal with a negative x to the third. Okay, so I'm going to move that over, so I get x to the third over here. Move that over, so I'm subtracting 4x, so that's minus 2x squared, and then the minus 8x, and it's now equal to 0. So now I'm going to go ahead and factor out an x. That leaves me x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. So x equals 0 because of that one. And then the rest is going to factor to x minus 4 and x plus 2. So I get x equals 4 and x equals negative 2. And if I plug 4 back in here or here, it doesn't work. So my two solutions are these two, and it's not equal to negative 4. The 4 is a extraneous solution. Okay, again, two fractions equal to each other. So cross multiply. So I get 2x squared plus 8x minus, that's plus 5x minus 12 equals 3x squared plus 9x. And let's move everything over to this other side, so 0. So if I subtract that, it gives me x squared. If I subtract that, that gives me a plus 4x. If I add that, then I get plus 12. Oops, plus 12. So that's going to give me, let's see, we do that right? Plus 12. This one is not, hang on, where did I make a mistake? X squared. It's 5x minus 12. 5x. That's 4x. You know what? This one you'd have to use the quadratic formula on because it's not going to factor, which is okay, but I don't think we intended that for this. We're checking for extraneous solutions. If you use the quadratic formula, you're not going to get anything that'd be extraneous. Okay, we can go ahead and cross multiply. So I'm going to get 7 times 4 equals x times x plus 3. That's 28 equals x squared plus 3x. Let's move everything over. So I get x squared plus 3x minus 28. So that's going to give me x plus 7 and x minus 4 when factored. So my answers are x equals -7, great, and x equals 4, great. If I plug either of those answers back into my denominator, I don't get a 0 downstairs, so both solutions are my answer. Okay, let's put these in parentheses, cross multiply. So I get 5x minus 7 and x minus 2, and I get 8 times x minus 2. So that's going to give me 5x squared minus 10x minus 17x plus 14 equals 8x minus 16. Let's go ahead and move this over, so I'll subtract it. So I'm going to get 5x squared minus 25x, and I'm going to add that over there, plus 30. And it looks like I can factor out, or just divide everything by 5, because we don't have to factor it. So then I need x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. If I factor that, I'm going to get x minus 2 and x minus 3. So that tells me x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Do 2 or 3? Yeah, look at that. If I plug a 2 in, I'm going to get a 0 down there. So that is an extraneous solution. So my only answer to this problem is 3. So now we get to it where we don't have, where we can cross multiply. So a couple things on this. I could create this. So all I did is I just subtracted 2 from both sides. So that's just one less step. And then I'm going to multiply everything by 3x. So the x's cancel on the first, so I get 9 plus 30x. Those cancel equals 4. So I get 30x is equal to subtract 9, so I get -5 over here. So x equals -5 over 30, which should reduce to -1 over 6. And I believe that will not make anything modified downstairs. Okay, that's a good solution. Okay, two fractions. Make this a positive and make that a negative now, and then distribute or cross multiply. So distribute the -2 over the parentheses. And then bring everything over. So that's going to factor to x minus 5 and x minus 2. So I'd get answers of x equals 5 and x equals 2. Neither of those are going to give me a 0 in the denominator, so we have two solutions there. So I think the trick on this one is that's going to be x plus 1 and x plus 1. I don't know if we wanted to can't see if we can cancel anything out, but we do have the two of them are over the exact same denominator. So I actually can just do this. Subtract the 2x. So subtract 2x, I get 0. Subtract that, so I get a -1. And so I wind up with x plus 1, x minus 1 for my answer. And then I get x equals -1 and x equals +1. If I take that +1 and plug it back into the original, I'd get a denominator that is undefined. So that's my only solution. The reason we could do this is if I had both of these equal to each other, so I can just say I'm going to take the numerators and set them equal to each other. Okay, complex fraction here. Best thing to do with this, 3 over x, that's going to be fine. So that means that eventually I'm going to multiply times x over 3. So that's taken care of. Let's now take care of the top. So I'm going to multiply this by x minus 1, which means if I distribute that over, I get 9 minus 3x plus 3. So now I'm going to get -3x plus 9 over x minus 1. And we're going to multiply these together. So I can factor out that -3 times the x over 3. The only thing that's going to cancel out is this 3 and this 3. So my answer is going to become -x, x minus 3, over x minus 1. We're not solving it. We're just multiplying together. Okay, the bottom's taken care of, so let's just, I'm going to write this over here. I'm going to eventually multiply by 2x plus 1 over 4x. Let's take care of the bottom. So I'm going to multiply this by 2x plus 1 on top, 2x plus 1 on bottom, x on top, x on bottom. So that means I'm going to get 2x plus 1 plus 1x over x, 2x plus 1. So now I can just bring that back up here, combine my terms. So I'm going to get 3x plus 1. Great. Over x and then 2x plus 1. And being you had a 2x plus 1 here on top, that's going to reduce there. Nothing else is going to reduce because I need to hold the whole binomial. So I have 3x plus 1 on top. And then on bottom, I'm left with 4x squared. There's my answer. That should be it. Have a great day.